Hey, fourth grade. So today I'm going to teach you how to do a new station called the essay station. And basically all we do is we get some details and then we cut them out and put them in the plan where they should go. To do this station, you need scissors, glue, and some colors. If you don't have these things at home, let me know and we can send home some of the things that you brought into school so that you have them, because sometimes we'll do this station during reading stations at school, and sometimes we will do it at home. So, first of all, when you got it, it's like this and it's stapled. You can rip it apart so that you have two separate pieces. You have an empty plan, and then you have some details. You don't have to write anything. All you have to do is cut this out and glue it in there, okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and I'm going to cut this out and I'll be right back. Okay, so I cut these out and I also saved this part that tells us the colors, because we're going to color code it at the end. So you want to save the part that tells you what colors to do. Pretty soon though, you're going to have this memorized if you don't already. But I saved that. And now I have these details and I'm going to put them where they belong and then glue them down. So you don't have to do them in order. If you see one and you know where it goes, go ahead and put it there. But I'm going to start with the thesis because it's the easiest for me. It usually tells us what the essay is about. So I might start with, today I'm going to explain, or I'm going to describe. So this one starts with, I'm going to explain the personalities of Mrs. Deaver and Mrs. Avery. This is the thesis because it explains what the whole rest of the essay is about. I'm not going to glue it yet, though. All right. Now, the two key star ideas should answer the prompt and connect with your thesis. If you say character traits of Mrs. Deaver and Mrs. Avery, you should have one key star idea about Mrs. Deaver and one key star idea about Mrs. Avery. So then I look through and I find those. So I can see that I have one that says Mrs. Deaver is easygoing and one that says Mrs. Avery is mean. These are my two key star ideas because they answer the prompt. And the prompt was describe character traits of two characters. So here we go. It doesn't matter which one you put first. So I can put them like this, or I can put them like that. It doesn't matter. Now I'm going to find evidence that matches this and an explanation that matches this. Evidence that matches this and an explanation that matches this. And then my conclusion. Okay? Now the evidence is specific and from the text, so it's easier to find because it'll say something like, on page 5 it says, or there will be quote marks. So here's one that says, according to page 5, it states Mrs. Avery pounced. Janet Fisk, you stopped at this instant. So this is about Mrs. Avery, right? So I'm not putting it here. I'm going to put it here because this whole paragraph is about Mrs. Avery since I put her first. And then I need to find an explanation about Mrs. Avery. Okay, so I fully think that you can do the rest of this on your own. Give it a try, but pause the video, give it a try, and then come back because then you can check it at the end because I'm going to finish it up on my own, and then I'm going to do the color coding, okay? So put the rest of them in order, then unpause the video and check to see if you got it right, and then we can glue them down. Okay, now I have them all in order, and I did glue them down. And the last step is to color code. So you can look at this for color coding. The thesis and conclusion are green, so I think of like a stoplight, and at least for the thesis, when it's green, you go. So I use the green to say go. And then the reason the conclusion is also green is just because it's so similar to the thesis statement. These two are really, really similar. I'm going to explain the personalities of Mrs. Deaver and Mrs. Avery. In conclusion, these two characters have unique personalities. They're so similar, so they're both green. The stars are yellow because I think of stars and I think yellow, and this is kind of where we're slowing down a little to start talking about the characters. The evidence is red because that's where we really stop and dive in, and we kind of explain it with a lot more detail. So that's when we really stop and look at the text and give a very, very detailed explanation. And then pink for the explanation, because it's similar to the red because we're talking about the evidence, but we're going to explain it in our own words. Then we go back to yellow. So it's green, go, and then yellow, we're slowing down. Red, we stop and look at the book, and then pink, we explain it. Then back to yellow. Yellow, red, pink. Then we are green again because it's so similar to the thesis. So you can look at this to help you color code it. I'm going to do it on mine, and you can just underline. If you have a highlighter, you can highlight, but I'm just going to underline. So the thesis is green, and so is the conclusion. The key star ideas are yellow, and I like to color in this star also to help remind me. Evidence is red. And then when we explain it in our own words, that's pink. Please put your name at the top of this paper, and this is what you're going to turn in for the essay station. If you want to do extra credit, an extra step is to use blue to put transitions along the side, but you don't have to. That would be extra credit. This is how you would turn this in. That one already has one. All right, that's how you do the essay station.